one unique person to it.
We'd just like to say thank you for choosing to honor Fort Wayne's most famous horticulturist.
That's from the Botanical Conservatory folks from UVA.
Jason, was this a name that struck you right away, or did you have to get your mind wrapped around it?
I think much more the latter. I will tell you that there were a whole lot of names that I said, maybe, but they're, I'll tell you, I had really hoped that the second we did this, we'd look through this name and something would jump out, we'd say, that's it, period. Didn't happen, and from talking, quite frankly, to, as Mike alluded to, we had the people who did our primary artwork are folks that we've done some work with before, who have done this for professional teams. They actually it's a company called Sky Design out of Atlanta who just redid the Georgia Dome where the Atlanta Falcons play, and they also just did the SunTrust Club for the Atlanta Braves. So they've done this on a major league level. We also consulted with a guy named Tom Dixon. Tom has a small company called Professional Sports Marketing, but Tom is more well known as he's the owner of the Lansing Lugnuts and the Montgomery Biscuits. Tom's background is in branding and marketing. That's sort of where he came to minor league baseball from. So the Lugnuts and the Montgomery Biscuits. The Lugnuts are, I think, one of the, if not the most, one of the three best-selling minor league licensees of all time. The Biscuits have also been a very successful brand. And both of those were also picked through a process similar to this, where it was fans. And I asked Tom if he had sort of that eureka moment in reading the list, and he said, I'm still waiting for the time when that happens. And he said it wasn't the case just with minor league names. When he used to work in the advertising and marketing field, he said, it very, very rarely, if ever, happens that something jumps out that you have that instant winner. And he said, more of what happens is you have a bunch of contenders, and I think what we found was that, again, over time, what you want to do is make sure that you're picking something that is not going to, the positive connotations, the reason that you would pick it occur to you instantly. The potential negatives to something is something that only comes out over time as you start to talk about it with other people and start to see how people might look at it differently. So it was very important to us, again, to pick something that was going to have broad acceptance. And the next time there was a flood, somebody wasn't going to say that was really insensitive of you to name your team the Floods, or the next time they raised gas prices, there wasn't somebody saying, why the heck would you pick fuel or octane? So it was a process of elimination in that format. But it also really grew on us because of the ability, as Mike said, we wanted to be, you had to be able to create a brand out of this. So while some of the names, there were a lot of names that were suggested that were more atmospheric, anything from, innovators to a name that was suggested probably a dozen times that I thought had a lot of appeal until we started trying to make a logo out of it, was Current, which was an allusion both to Fort Wayne's history of electricity generation and obviously also the rivers. As you start to try to take something intangible like Current and turn it into a logo, it became very difficult. It was not something that we were able to get an attractive logo out of. So the way that the right answer to us started to emerge was, all the different things we were going to need it for. How did this translate across those categories? Any other questions?
Plan on having a name or kind of help design the mascot contest or anything with fans?
We may very well. I mean, good idea. We haven't. It took us so much time to get to this, but I think that in terms of, we probably will design the mascot. There's a company.
Got a suggestion?
Johnny would be a good name for the mascot.
There you go. Well, we will. I think we probably will go out and take suggestions for names, and there's certainly one that I bet a lot of people will suggest, and maybe that's the right answer. In terms of designing the mascot, that's something that we'll do. There is actually a company we've worked with before, a team that we own in Virginia. We created a new mascot there and had a lot of success with that. So there are companies that do a very good job with this. They'll take our images and our drawings, and we'll certainly have some say in that, but we'll largely leave that up to the experts. There's a lot of mechanical concerns with creating a large mascot that complicate that a little bit. Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming. And